Hello,
Oh, hi.
how's it going?
It's going.
That's good.
Wasn't even sure if the meeting was happening today.
Sorry?
So I wasn't sure if the meeting was happening today because I misread the cancellation email for later this month.
Oh yeah, I don't know. We try to so the Linux Foundation has a portal where we cancel things, but it does a weird thing with the Google calendars. I hope they fix it. But yeah. Hi, Victor.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, it always resends everything instead of just canceling the one that you cancel.
Of course.
But at least now it says cancel December, whatever. Yeah.
At KubeCon, I met the Devin. Uh, so he organized the Data Hung DOK
hmm
meeting there. So yeah, I told him about possible collaborations. So I'm not sure he's gonna join this time, but that's a possibility.
And what's their name?
Yeah, it's Divie. Let me see the last name.
I see David. Hi, Vivek.
Devin Odazie last name.
ODA.
Uh, Odaze like zebra, IE.
That.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So at the last meeting, Lisa told us she can't lead the meeting anymore, and we asked Vivek if he wanted to lead it, and he said yes. Yay! Thank you, Vivek.
Yep.
I don't think we have much on the agenda, but I wanted to introduce you and we can talk about maybe how we want to go up, keep going next year. I canceled the next meeting because, or maybe not the next meeting, one second. So we have one more meeting. We can decide if we want to cancel it before Christmas. And then the one
Okay.
on New Year's Eve I canceled. Yeah. So
Yeah, I think that sounds good. And yeah, Lisa will be definitely be missed. And
yeah, I mean, she will join when she can. She's saying
yeah,
she's not leaving, but she doesn't have time to be the lead.
yeah. But yeah, happy to fill in those shoes, big shoes, but I'll do my best to help support. And we have a great group of people, great
Yeah,
minds
we
coming
do.
together to drive the initiative forward. Maybe today we can use this meeting to decide what we want next year to look like
Mhm.
and also decide whether we want to keep the next two meetings. I'll be out for volunteering during the last week of December, so I may not be able to join. I'll be with a large group of people, so I will not have enough Wi-Fi access to actually join the meeting.
I mean, I think we can give everyone a break. Like we don't have any.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, and I think we had a great year already, and I think it'll give some rest to everybody, and then yeah, I'm hoping like that is what we can do in today's meeting. And Jesse, you already know me, Victor. I mean, we all know each other already, so I will not reintroduce
Oh,
myself.
by the way, Victor, what you wrote and Jesse edited, the executive director of the Linux Foundation put it in his weekly newsletter last week, the blog post. I'll just link the blog down here. But I thought that was cool that they found what we wrote. I mean, what you wrote, I posted. Yeah.
I can kick us off. I was thinking for next year, maybe if we can decide on some kind of a cadence where we are publishing at least one article every quarter or one article with the intention of sharing our knowledge with the larger community. So that way we have a cadence of one article every quarter. And if it's more, even better. But I think one a quarter or at least two a quarter will be like a great balance where we decide on what the data ops initiative, the roadmap should look like. Maybe it can be, we can select a theme for every quarter. Maybe it's the data ops maturity model. Maybe it is the latest and greatest in DataOps, or here are the best practices. I think I was thinking we set some kind of a theme for every quarter, and then we publish one or two articles, and then Victor, I know, is very good at presenting, Victor, and then Sage. And then between Jesse and all of us, I think there'll be representation of the DataOps initiative at these different conferences where we're able to publish, and then that can act as a follow-up article for the quarter. That is where my head is, because all the foundational steps that took place over the course of this year, I feel this is a logical next step towards defining what the DataOps maturity model is and helping different organizations determine which path do they take, or at least giving them opportunities for just thought experiments like, hey, this is how we view it, and this is here are our recommendations. Go have fun with it.
No, I think that's good. And I would like to know what's upcoming, and then I can like bug people to write it and, yeah.
Yeah, so I know last year was special, a lot of transition happening, especially for Lisa, obviously. But I think, Vivek, if you have time, I don't know how much time you have compared with Lisa. I think there's a lot more we can do. Other
Okay.
than what you just described, we can probably do. This is what I find. Why? Actually, who did I talk to? I talked to some of the Kubernetes and some of the like W3C standard people about like what's our role, in the community. The consensus I think is people don't understand like when they say something like a standard, right? People say, "Wow, this is something." Some people who have 10 years, I mean, 30 years experience and just created that standard, some from out of their experience, right? That's just not true. It's usually same. Just a few people come together and create a standard out of something that's everybody else can do the same, except they didn't do it.
Mhm.
So we're actually and so far, as far as I can tell, there's nowhere else in at least within the Linux Foundation ecosystem that have that data ops stamp. So we're actually in a position to create a lot of a standard, like even terminology, taxonomies, if needed, including that, like for example, we talk about training for data ops. So I know it's hard for just the four of us or anyone who participate to create that. So I take collaboration. That's why I reached out to Davin. It's not David, it's Davin, Davin in Odezi, and he's very active in the DOK, Data on Kubernetes ecosystem. I mean, there are many similar, actually contributors to a lot of ecosystems. So I think we can just, whatever we do, and we can continue to what we have been doing, and as Vivek, you said, do the stuff that you just mentioned, but we can also go out and see, what kind of collaboration we can have, right? To create standards, whether it's terminology, for example, data governance. And there's a lot of discussion about data governance, but how about data governance on Kubernetes? There's nothing there yet. So we can be the first a group that talk about that. And by doing that, by raising the flag, we're going to attract a lot of top experts to come here, and which is especially now you're leading the effort. That will be a very good visibility for you going forward as well.
I think that's a fantastic idea. I think that really will get the community excited, and just people who really want to do tech, and people, I think that'll be appealing for everybody. And what I was suggesting, maybe it can become a natural part of the process. We're already shooting for the stars, and then everything else that will follow it was going to be really amazing. That's right. I did not think about that. I think, yeah, I think there's a lot of scope for setting those new standards and guidelines and definitions, and bringing the best heads in the industry together to sort of be the godfathers, godmothers of the data ops initiative.
Exactly. I think you're all right. If you put something out there, someone will have an opinion and they'll come and share it, hopefully. Yeah.
And in the meantime, I know Roseanne is busy with whatever you're writing, etc. And Jesse is also consider yourself a writer, but I won't say so. I stop you right there because I've seen so many because I go to different places. There are many people who start either be a writer or just brand new, no, nothing, and really just learn at the same time, able to create a lot of standard. Right? Believe it or not, that's happening everywhere. So I would not stop just being I mean definitely I mean writing is great, but it's something you can do more to be part of this initiative.
And I think Jesse's very humble. He's really good. There were a lot of discussions in which he jumped in with fantastic viewpoints. So he just likes to be humble and say that I help with editing.
I'm just here to keep the whole AI ego under check. So, if I can bah humbug and do some technical writing, I'm happy. But yeah, I mean, as far as the essentially creating policy thing, I do have some background in that from the military side, but I think finding a good way for bringing all these people in, and especially knowing how like diverse time-wise and across the globe that a lot of this is going to come from, I think just having a good way to finding a good organized way to have people be able to like submit ideas for us to discuss and find a way to, you know, determine either the structure in which we would want them to submit it or how we're going to vote on it and grade it, so to speak, would probably be an excellent start to, one of the posts that we might want to start out at the first quarter.
That's a good idea. We can have like something in January, maybe the second week, give people time, or third week have time to breathe, and then we can make a Google form or another type of, way that they can submit, and then we would get a spreadsheet, and then we can look at that as they come in.
This is what I find. I usually start from what I already know and then I learn from there. So, Jesse, you just mentioned that you have military background, and so you must know the disciplines of military, right? So it could be a very good blog for you. I mean, I can either feed you information if you like. We can collaborate with Vivek and write together. Maybe like just a story about your background information, in the military, the discipline, the governance there, versus what is the governance, data governance in the real world, and what's the regulation of how to make it. Yeah, I start from your story and become a data governance story.
I think that might be a little hard to adapt, just because of my background. But I mean, essentially, I think we could loosely do a general one about just adaptation. And I guess the lag time between, I guess, creating policy and actually enacting policy and trying to square that difference and being willing to change it. So we can work with it somehow. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, if you want to start a Google Doc, we can jump in and see whether it's possible to get to lead to somewhere.
I'll start one and share it.
Any other high marks for us to shoot for, Vivek, since you're leading this gaggle of folks now?
I think the two, I think we have three things. One is looking at the list of ideas which we already put together over the course of this year. If we are able to get through even 50% of them, I think that will put us in a very good spot with a lot of visibility. Even now, the first discussion we had around MCP servers that still keeps getting a lot of views. Something like that. I think maybe another birds of feather discussion, part two to that conversation, or something along the lines of what we have discussed. Just looking at the landscape and Lisa, was it Lisa? I forget.
It might be fun if we do like a buff style thing to invite someone like that or someone knows to like bring another idea into the mix.
Yeah, I think that will be cool. And I think all of us have a lot of contacts in the industry, either through our company directly or through other forums. I think that's a great idea. But yeah, at a high level, I was thinking a three-pronged approach. One is the moonshots, which Victor is highlighting about. And technically, they're not even moonshots, they are going to act as the very foundational blocks of DataOps. So that is where I think we'll get all the interest in terms of, okay, I want to do DataOps. DataOps is the foundational layer for a lot of things. That will be one pillar for us to focus on, I believe. And then the second pillar is going to be things which we already want to do from last year. For example, the certifications, the materials, and then the third aspect is going to be these publications building on top of these two, maybe twice a quarter. If even more than that, that'll even be better. But that is where I was thinking again, it'll be a team effort. Everybody, I'll just be the mouthpiece. I mean, I'll help as well, but that is what I was thinking. I think that'll put us in a good spot, and hopefully by the end of next year, we will have even more people engaging with our meetings and with our website publications and the YouTube channel. So then maybe we even have our own mini webinar series of sorts.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. There's so many things we can do.
Yeah.
Forgive the dour seeming outlook on this question. What is the status? I know obviously we're missing some folks, end of the year holidays, get all that. So like what is the status? Because I know we talked about doing the training thing, and then we've also talked about doing the landscape. Obviously now we're discussing kind of actually setting up the standards. Uh, it's one thing to build a plane while you're flying it, but it's another thing to not understand how a plane is supposed to look when you're trying to build it. I guess like where do we want to start on this? Like what is the priority? Uh, like any thoughts on that, or do we have a current status on that? Because I haven't really been following, unfortunately.
For the landscape, I think Victor put a few names down, but maybe we need to have a working session where we all like put them down. I don't know. Or we do that during the holidays. Probably not, let's be honest. Yeah, so the landscape hasn't moved.
Did we ever come up with grading criteria for the landscape, or?
Dan he has it in the to do landscape tab under the.
Because that might not be a bad basis to start looking at, I
So they
guess,
have
like,
the open source, I believe, and have at least 500 stars on GitHub.
okay.
Yeah, so these two things already eliminate a lot. If they're private companies, they have to be a member of the CDF, and most of them are not. So, yeah.
So not a whole lot of to build off of for the foundational side. Okay.
No, but there are a lot of open source projects out there. And also, if we put them in a landscape, they might be aware of us, Then we can tweet and be like, this project is in the landscape, check it out. And then maybe they'll be interested. That's why I was pushing for it, because I think it's a nice resource for people who want to find data ops landscape. And then it's also a way to connect with people saying, we recognize what you're doing and believe it's good. That's why we put it on here. I would do the landscape. I just don't, I can Google data ops projects and just do it, and then you all can review it. I can do that as well.
With the
I
Google
think
Doc,
Jesse brings up.
sorry.
Go on, Victor.
Roseanne created Google Doc. I just added some thoughts there. So the first three references I added, like what's the value of discipline, right? That's basically your experience, your experience in military. What is it like, and what's the value of discipline, right? That's the start of the article about you. And then there are I just searched for like data governance for military, right? So I know that's kind of a not doesn't have to be that topic, but it's just to give you an idea, like in the kind of a transition into your personal experience to data governance in military to data governance in general, like because governance is a kind of discipline, right? But how to do that in a open source community, yeah, I think that could be a storyline.
If you're not comfortable, we won't push you.
We'll see what we can work around it.
Vivek, you were gonna say.
Yeah, I think Jesse has a very good point. I think if we start with the landscape, I think that'll sort of act as the baseline for, okay, what's on the market right now, open source as well as we are open source. I think I'm guessing we'll primarily focus only on open source and for valid reasons. So I think maybe the completing the landscape will probably be step number one, and then maybe coming up with some kind of a training curriculum. But again, the second portion, I think more ideas, the better. I don't know if we should go straight to a training curriculum for data ops or if that should come at a later stage. But I think the landscape will take first priority, in my opinion.
I do like Roxanne's idea of bringing people in, getting people involved and getting people interested. It gets us more ideas once you can kind of, I think, decide like what the baseline and what the um sorry, I'm losing the term for
Right.
like the standards you want to build are. Like then you can train to the standards because otherwise if you're trying to build the training without the standards, it's a little I think reverse ordered. But I realize that kind of is hard if we're trying to get, I think that's why if we can get more people involved and getting more ideas and finding a good place to organize them, you know, if we get, let's say shoot for the stars idea. If we can get 100 ideas of like, hey, like what are your, like if you're coming into this, what do you think like our top four biggest issues that we could be, we can kind of like break that down and analyze it and go, all right, like here's the, 80% of people agree that this is a top priority, 60% of people agree that this is a top priority, and then narrow it down from there.
That's a good point. We had talked about a survey as well. That can come later, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a really great idea. I think turning that into a funnel to gather feedback for priority and then crowdsourcing it in terms of, okay, okay, we have 500 people, what do most of you care about? And then we pull in the right people, or we share our initial ideas and then gather feedback, sort of like a peer-reviewed journal publication of, hey, this is what we think will set the standard, or not even like setting the standard, but more along the lines of, hey, here is one area where we see data on Kubernetes, we don't have any set guidelines or nomenclature or standards. This is where we want to start with, and maybe that's where Victor and Sage and others can jump in with their industry experience to pull in the right people and come up with what should that look like and why should people care about it. I think if that why is very well defined, I think then that'll get a lot of people more.
No, and I mean, not to be sacrilegious, like we're not writing the Bible here. So as long as we're like have the humility to be like, hey, like you have a better idea, come tell us.
Yep.
Like here's how you tell us what we think you should change. We'll review it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's open source. So here's my here's our thoughts. How do we make it better?
And if we publish the landscape before May, our like annual conference is in May, and then I can put it in our state of CDF. So whoever's in the room can see it. Yeah. That's cool. So I think we can start there. I have a lot of time this month since all my meetings are canceled. So I will Google. LF AI and Data was also interested in collaborating with us. They have data people, so maybe we can get them interested again.
Sounds very good.
Yeah. And Lisa is on their board. So we can bug her to send them the landscape or something. So Vivek, I should cancel the next meeting, correct?
I'm in favor of canceling the next meeting. I think we have a good bit of information to chew about. chew over and think about.
Yeah. Victor, anything else?
No, this is good. Look forward to 2026. Have more fun.
Same. Jesse? Cool.
Any other topics? I don't know if I have editing rights, but I just made some suggestions into the meeting notes. So the priority order is the landscape and then relevant articles being published. And then we start thinking about DataOps standards. And then at some point in the future, we have the training modules.
You should have editor, but I just sent them to you.
Okay.
I will
Within CDF itself, the CD events group, I think I mentioned before, yeah, there's interest on if we can come up with the basic concept of DataOps, and they're open to discuss how to help us drive DataOps events. So kind of a complementary to the current, the GitOps event, the CD events.
Yeah. I'm talking to the DC who's on involved in the project next week, so I can ask him about it as well.
That sounds very good. I like that idea, Victor. I think once we have enough material, we might have our own mini conference. I forget which conference it was, either at KubeCon where there was a standalone portion for CNCF. One of the we are able to share their space and then have talks and presentations.
We have
I
done
hope.
a CD events con before for CD events, and
Okay.
so we have a CD con where we have 2 days, so you could have a talk there if you want. The CFP opens in January, and then we might have one in Prague in October.
All right.
Yeah.
That's also the reason I talked to Davin is because he's very interested in organizing this in KubeCon, etc. So in the future, if there's not enough participation about CDCon, it might be merge the two, make the CD event, anything data ops part of the DOK data on Kubernetes event at KubeCon.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We always wanted to be at KubeCon, but there's so much demand and it's CNCF, not CDF, so they have no room for us. So if we can, share it with them, that would be cool.
This way, you can also take turns, and not everybody has to be there every time.
Yeah. How was KubeCon, Victor?
Oh, it was fun. It was my first time. I actually asked and squeezed into the maintainer summit on Sunday.
Cool.
So yeah, it was fun. It was because I've been working with a lot of them people for 3 years, so it's first time meeting in person. Most of the time I don't like to be recorded online, so I don't get on camera. So it's good to sometimes people know, oh, okay, you've been talking to each other for 3 years, the first time see you. Yeah, that was fun. So yeah, I don't know, I can be there every time, but yeah, it's a very cool conference. Definitely, if you haven't been there, maybe the data ops could be up to be an opportunity to get there because I think if you organize, for example, you don't even have to be like the expert. For example, very much Jesse, I don't know if you have time, right? Because I know Rosette has seen everything in the past, so she's probably. But Jesse, right, for you, even for brand new, I mean, if you into it, you can definitely organize, like in the future, the CityCon event at KubeCon, and then if you become an organizer, the benefit, my understanding is, you're going to get discount. Maybe like you don't have to pay for the conference, for example. Sometimes you even get this time I actually applied for what is called financial assistantship because I'm independent right now. So I've actually got some, so it's pretty cool too. So I didn't actually. It's also very close to where I live, so I didn't have to spend too much money at all to attend the conference.
That's cool.
That's actually very inspiring, and I think it's more motivating to know that if you're able to create enough material and present, then all the other roadblocks along the way to the conference, like the fee and all the other things, they'll be significantly taken care of.
Yeah, like our program committee, they get a free pass to attend Open Source Summit slash CDCon. So that's like $700, I think. Yeah.
And the good thing is there's so many conferences, we can take turns go to different ones. So it's I'm sure if it would be very tiresome for anyone to go to all of them, every year. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for everyone.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hope my goal is to present at least at one conference next year. I've been sending my team, but I've never presented. So I'm hoping DataOps will give that opportunity to for us to present. Like, and I think it'll be lovely for all of us to present at different conferences. A few people from my company were at the KubeCon conference, and a few of our ex-employees who are now with Microsoft were also at KubeCon Atlanta. They said it was really good.
That's cool.
Any holiday plans for?
Just staying home. We have a
Okay.
nephew, and so he believes in Santa, and we're gonna do the Santa thing. Yeah.
And Vienna for 2 days tomorrow, and then hanging out in Germany.
Sounds nice. Like the Christmas market and stuff, or
Yeah, we haven't. We only went to Vienna during the summer, so it'd be nice to see it during the winter time.
it's so beautiful. It's like so clean. I don't know.
Yeah, all the local Germans say that the Austrians aren't that nice, but every time we go down, or at least when we were down there, they were like all the Austrians are super nice, trying to make small chat. I'm like, all right,
And
finally, somebody
it's
I
also
understand.
like prettier and cheaper too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to Madrid for a few days.
Cool.
That'll be cool. I think all of you will be in the same continent.
Yeah. What about you, Vivek? What are you up to?
I will be in Montreal, Canada for the
You want to be
next.
cold?
Uh, um, it's really nice. Like it gets. Last year I was here, it was like -16, -25, and
Yeah.
makes me feel alive.
I miss Montreal. It's nice. That's cool. Thanks so much for being the new chair. I'm excited.
Well, thank you for thinking of me, and I'll do my best with all of your support to keep this moving forward.
No pressure. If you have questions, you just ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not alone, and the group supports you. I, I
We have a phenomenal group, and that's the only reason I said yes, because I'll just be the representative. We have great minds and ideas coming out. But yeah, I think we have a good plan in place, and then we still have access to the Slack channel. So whatever we come up with, think of any changes we want to make, I'm considering we'll just post there, and then starting New Year's and the goal objective we have of getting the landscape out by May, I think that's a great time frame. And I yeah, we'll all keep in touch. I think I'll hang back in this meeting. I just wanted to chat with Roxanne for a few minutes.
Yep.
And after that,
Happy
I'll
holidays.
see you all next.
Sorry,
Thank you
Vic.
so much.
I'll just say happy holidays.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
Bye.